Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're situated on this great, big, beautiful blue globe floating through the void of Yah's creation. It's a Monday. Yeah, the 22nd of June, 2026. And oh my gosh, what's up, what's down, what's right, what's left, what's right, what's wrong, what's up, what's down? I don't know. I just don't know. But
you won't be trusted anymore.
all right, welcome to the Monday edition of the WTF Reports. I'm your host, Dave Von Kleist, with the facts, WTF. And if those facts make you exclaim WTF, well then, so be it. All right, here we go. First of all, I want to say, hey, for all you dads out there, I hope you had a wonderful Father's Day weekend. And I have to be honest, I had a really great Father's Day. My daughter came for a visit, and we went to a concert. And I got, you know the Allman Brothers, right? Yeah, Derek Trucks, the slide guitar player. Yeah, Derek Trucks and his wife, Susan Tedeschi, had a concert down in Missoula. And Erica's friend was able to get us backstage passes and VIP and all that stuff. And it was a good time. Had great music and got to meet them. And that was really cool. And anyway, so I did not turn on my computer all weekend. I didn't go look at the news. I didn't turn on TV. Nothing. I just zoned out. So if I'm a little behind on a couple of the news stories, hopefully you'll forgive me for that. However, there are still a couple of things that are percolating. You regular listeners know that all last week I've been screaming about the inserts into the NDAA Section 224, and then, Senate Bill 4615, Section 622. Well, there are other inserts in other bills, and it's kind of hard to keep up with them. So I'm saying, well, wait a second. Why is it all of a sudden? I mean, why didn't this happen a month ago, or 6 months ago, or a year ago? Why is it all of a sudden? All of these bills are being thrown into Congress, and they have these sections in there where we're basically turning over our sovereignty to this country to another country. Why is this happening now? What's the timing of this? And I can't help but think, remember about 5-6 months ago, members of Congress were flown over to Israel, and they were wooed, and they were wined and dined, and they all came back as ambassadors of Israel. Yeah, and it wasn't just our elected officials. Yeah, they brought a whole lot of reverends and ministers. People who head churches. Yeah, because they all want them to be ambassadors for Israel. They're really pushing for this. And then, of course, Bibi, remember he was saying that TikTok. Yeah, we got to get the social influencers out there. We got to stop all this anti-Semitism, and we're going to have to do so by taking over TikTok and taking censorship and all that stuff. So you look at what's been going on, and the overwhelming majority now of Americans do not support Israel, and this is unprecedented. This has not happened before. No wonder the Knesset is shaking in their boots. No wonder that Bibi has been cajoling and convincing and arm-twisting and lobbying, or should I say bribing, or pressuring, shall I say coercing, or maybe blackmailing a lot of these elected officials to do what they're doing, because if Bibi and the Knesset and Israel loses support of Americans, they're screwed. They know it. And so they're, making a mad dash now to try to woo people back on board to help to support Israel. And this is why, of course, bringing all of our elected officials over there and bringing all these ministers over there, doing everything they can to manipulate and to steer the American population in one direction, to support them. But they know that's not going to work. So now there's a mad dash to get all these laws passed so that once these laws get passed, there's no way out. Bibi and Israel, they don't need the $3.8 billion of foreign aid that we send, because they'll have access to our military. And when they say, yes, we want to merge, that's a key word. When they merge, it's basically infiltrating and taking over. I forget which Pentagon official said he was really pissed off. This is some time ago because members of the Mossad were in the Pentagon telling the Pentagon officials what to do. So anyway, what I'm looking at here is this could very well be Bibi's end run around public opinion. So I have to ask the question, Tom Cotton is just one of many of the representatives out there that have inserted these sections into these bills, and I would say that this is treason. I mean, I don't know another way to put it. But I mean, this is unfortunately what's happening. So I'm looking at this whole situation here, and I'm saying, okay, well, Bibi and the Knesset and Israel, they must be absolutely beside themselves because they know that if they lose support of the United States, and Trump has been saber rattling, well, I don't know if you can call it saber rattling, but he's been threatening to pull support. He and Bibi have not been seeing eye to eye lately. So things, and you know what happens when you got a wild animal cornered? They strike out at you. So the point is here, a lot of people are saying, well, wait a second, if Israel is really desperate, and if they do lose the support of the American people and members of Congress, and I do hear rumblings that some members of Congress are not behind some of these sections like 224 or 622, and what could happen to them? So again, those three words come into play all the time.
Bribery, coercion, blackmail.
Yeah, bribery, I should have said lobbying, because that's exactly what bribery is. It's lobbying. It's legalized bribery. And that, unfortunately, is what many, if not most of our members of Congress are involved in. Shall we just look at the payoffs from AIPAC? How many of our members of Congress have refused money from AIPAC? Only a handful. So most of them have accepted money. So this is where we're at, folks. So I implore you, contact your representative, contact your senators. Tell them, say, look, we're watching this, and anybody who votes for these bills or the NDAA, you are committing treason. There is no other word. This is not just a mistake or an error in judgment. And I don't care if it's an error in judgment or not. I mean, there's malfeasance, dereliction of duty, or treason. It's one of the three. And if I'm wrong, please, somebody correct me. Somebody, call me right now. 215-867-8255. The line is open. You want to call me right now. I want to know what your feeling is on these actions being taken by our members of Congress and our Senate. Are they committing treason by supporting these bills? Maybe I'm just a crazy conspiracy theorist wacko. But no, Israel is most definitely losing the public support. As a matter of fact, in Idaho, let me see if I can pull this up. For the first time in a decade, Israel is losing support. Let me see if I can get this to play. Okay, it's there we go. And
incredible has happened here at the Idaho GOP state convention, and that is that for the first time in about a decade, the Idaho GOP has rejected a resolution supporting Israel. I am speechless. I am beside myself because I never thought that this would happen. 80% of the room voted to reject the resolution supporting Israel, condemning Hamas and all that. And of course, it's not because anybody supports Hamas. It's not because people here are anti-Semitic. It's because Idaho and Israel have, frankly, nothing to do with each other. Israel is 5,000 miles away, and there is nothing that our state legislators, our lawmakers, our county commissioners, and our state Republican Party can frankly do about foreign policy. There's nothing that we can do to affect anything 5,000 miles away. We should be laser focused on doing things at home. And so
that's like America first. What a concept.
What happened was in the meeting, Brian Lenny, State Senator Brian Lenny, made a motion to strike the resolution supporting Israel. That was seconded by a young gentleman, and they made passionate arguments about why this has nothing to do and is not germane, frankly, to the business of the Idaho Republican Party. And it was overwhelmingly rejected, which is just absolutely an incredible turn of events here. I did an interview with Brian Lenny a little bit ago, but unfortunately my microphone wasn't working, so I had to re-record this video. But yeah, man, unbelievable. Nobody saw that coming. I thought it was a foregone conclusion that we would be seeing yet another pro-Israel resolution, and it hasn't. And so this is what happens when you work together, you don't burn your bridges, and you're persistent. You've got to be persistent at this. We've been trying, at least I have, for the past 6 years to get this stuff out of the Idaho Republican resolutions, the platform, and all of that. And so a lot of hard work has finally paid off, thanks to Senator Brian Lenny and all of the young delegates here in Meridian, Idaho. So the session is not over yet. We still have to vote on party leadership, which the delegates will be picking up after lunch. But this is a real revolution, I think, because even 6 months ago, the idea that the Idaho GOP would not pass a resolution supporting Israel. This is just unheard of. So
wow.
The Israel lobby has been blown out. They are no longer in charge of the Idaho Republican Party. And so let's see what happens going forward. This could really piss off the Israel lobby. And so we'll see what winds up happening. But I'll see if I can track down Senator Brian Lenny again to do another interview. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please share, like, retweet this, send it to your friends, because there's a new Idaho Republican Party in town, and we are putting America first. God bless. Have a good day.
Wow. Okay, that was David Riley. He's a talk show host, and I have to assume he's in Idaho. But he went to cover this meeting, and I think this is great news. Maybe this is just the beginning of the collapse of the Israeli support. I mean, that's all we could hope for, right? But it's a really interesting situation there. So hopefully that won't be the last state that goes down that particular road and says, hey, look, we've had it. We have had it with this Israeli support. As a matter of fact, I saw a post, a woman was down in Texas, and she was explaining that every city in Texas is obligated to send money to Israel. So it's not just the state of Texas that gives them money. It's also the county. It's also the cities and towns. So she said, wait a second. I think it was Santa Rosa. I think she said it was the city of Santa Rosa, Texas. Don't hold me to that. But the bottom line here is that Santa Rosa has potholes, really bad potholes. And so they started going through the budget and saying, look, where are we going to get the money to fix the roads here? And they realized and say, wait a second, what's this? We're sending $4 million a year to Israel. We can't even fix our own city here. And so they said, well, we're not going to do that. We're not going to send that money. Oh, and so what did Governor Abbott do? He basically went to the city and says, okay, guess what? If you cut off that $4 million going to Israel, then you won't get any state or federal funds. So they are being coerced into giving money to Israel. Now, when does it stop? When does it stop? Anyway, so I'm thrilled to see that Idaho is rejecting. I mean, I wonder what the ramifications of that is going to be. Is Idaho going to lose federal funding for different projects? I don't know. But then again, you have to ask the question, what cost our freedom? What cost? So anyway, we'll have to see how this is all going to play out. But I'm very pleased to see that so many more people now are jumping on board and saying, wait a second, this is not about being anti-Semitic. This has got nothing to do with being a Jew-hating anti-Semite. No. This is about foreign policy and about what we're doing, sending money and support and allowing a foreign country not just to receive your taxpayer, your taxes, but also losing your entire sovereignty to a foreign country. People have had it. At least I'm glad to see that more and more people are getting it. But the biggest problem is going to be the evangelical, Zionist Christians that are out there, because they're so convinced that they are right. It's, again, what was it? Mark Twain always said it's always easier to fool people than to convince them that they've been fooled. And their pride and their ego won't allow them to realize the error that they're making. No, they believe, John Hagee and all the other ministers out there. I don't know what happened to John Hagee. Gosh, 30 years ago, he was railing against the international bankers and the New World Order and the Illuminati and all that stuff. But something happened to John Hagee and many of the other ministers out there that were on board 30 years ago was saying, hey, look America's got to be number one, and we got to get rid of the whatever you want to call it, the deep state, the cabal, the Illuminati, the Council of 300, whatever you want to call it. But now they're all on board with that. Again, is it bribery, coercion, or blackmail? Interesting times that we're in. Okay, Fox News has reported, oh gosh, listen, wait till you hear this. Trump is threatening the lives of the Iranian negotiators in Switzerland. He says that the U.S. is just going to take over the Strait of Hormuz, and if you don't like it, well, I'll let you hear the Fox News report. Here it is.
These Epstein files must be really good.
Oh, yeah. That's, by the way, that was Eric Motsos. And, those Epstein files, maybe they're being hung over everybody's head that was involved in this whole thing. Maybe that's why it's been such a, it's like pulling a tooth to get our representatives to move away from this foreign influence, because maybe they're all being blackmailed. I don't know. Anyway, here's the Fox report.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. I just spoke with President Trump for more than 20 minutes, and he gave some new insight and reaction.
Okay, this is, by the way, a report from Trey Yingst of Fox News. Here it is.
About the ongoing talks that are taking place in Switzerland and the threats coming from the Iranian regime. President Trump telling Fox News that the U.S. may take over the strait in the future if they have to, and collect tolls. The president described this as the United States being the guardian angel of the Strait of Hormuz and the Middle East. And the president said ultimately that would involve the U.S. taking 20% of the oil that passes through the strait. Remember, this comes in reaction to the Iranians saying they will close the Strait of Hormuz in response to Israeli strikes against Hezbollah in Lebanon. President Trump tells Fox News he spoke with Iranian officials overnight and said, you close it and you won't have a country. He went on to tell these officials, you won't even make it back to your effing country.
Wow.
Now, earlier today, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian said this about Iranian enrichment of uranium. The president also reacting to that. Take a listen.
We will not give up our right to enrichment. And they, too, will be forced to accept it. You all know what the so-called President of the United States was saying. He had made a complete 100-degree turn. He was saying that Iran must surrender unconditionally. Iran has no right to do this. It has no right to do that.
President Trump, during our call, responded directly to those comments by Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian. President Trump told Fox News he better watch his mouth, he better shape up, or we'll take over the rest of the country. And so clearly the president reacting directly to these comments from Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian. And also President Trump talked about the broader memorandum of understanding, indicating this is just a ceasefire extension. This is not the final deal with the Iranian regime. And the president says he holds the cards and maintains a variety of options if the Iranians don't make these serious commitments at the negotiating table. He said, I have a 60-day option, and I can do whatever I want after that option. So again, President Trump leaving a variety of considerations on the table and says that the United States could become the guardian angel of the Strait of Hormuz and collect tolls itself while taking oil around 20%, the president says. As it relates to oil, President Trump also said that 19 million barrels of crude oil exited the Persian Gulf yesterday as a result of this memorandum of understanding with the Iranians.
Interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. Oh, gosh. Let me see. Where else do we go here? Let me see. Oh, yeah. With the shutdown of the Strait of Hormuz, there is a domino effect. Now, some people are saying, oh, we're going to be just fine for a couple of months. We've got enough reserves. And, the fertilizer, some of the fields still have fertilizer in them from last year, et cetera, et cetera. But the bottom line here is that, yes, things are going to be slowing down considerably. And our reserves, some of these tanks, they rely on pressure to push the crude through so it can make it to the processing plants where it can be refined and made into fuel. But those tanks have to have a certain amount of crude in them for the pressure to push the crude through the pipes. And when it gets below a certain level, there's not enough pressure. So they've got to fill up those tanks with crude so that the crude can make it to the refineries. So that's all going to take time. And we're going to see a domino effect. Now, whether it's going to result in not just extremely high prices for fuel, but availability of fuel. And then, of course, that has a domino effect for the delivery of goods and services, specifically food. So a lot of people are saying, hey, it might not be such a bad idea to stock up and have a month or two worth of food on hand. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. You've heard that before. So anyway, here is, again, Eric Moutzis posts a lot of good stuff. Here's a guy that's talking exactly about that fact.
It looks like we might now actually be approaching the moment of truth. The moment where we find out if our rulers would rather avoid an entire economic collapse or if they would prefer to continue to send arms to Israel. Just days after the MOU being signed, Iran has reclosed the Strait of Hormuz thanks to Israel's bombing in Lebanon. This is coming after Donald Trump himself said on live television that the United States had maybe 4 weeks left of oil. That 4-week time frame is why the U.S. basically completely and utterly surrendered to Iran. We signed a deal under worse terms than I even thought was possible. But with Iran closing the strait, they are making it clear that, yes, Israel is tied to this deal inherently. Iran is stating that they know that Israel is only able to wage the wars that they wage because of U.S. support.
True that.
They are stating clearly that no longer is it enough for us to just say that we're going to talk to Israel, that we're going to ask them politely to stop their genocide, which makes the situation abundantly clear. We have 4 weeks to rein Israel in truly and actually, as in the good and honest threat of cutting Israel off must finally be used if the U.S. wants to avoid a major economic collapse.
Wow.
And what is terrifying as a citizen of the U.S. is I don't know which they're going to choose. Because logic would dictate that the correct thing to do is to stop supporting Israel in order to save ourselves. But that logic has been true this entire time. Our constant support of Israel has led to nothing but loss. We have given them billions upon billions of dollars, and all we have to show for it is a genocide and the loss of trust and respect on the world stage. And now we are staring down the barrel of a possible total economic collapse.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right now. Ask yourself the question, is my representative or my senator going to support Israel or support us? That's what it comes down to. How much money? I mean, remember the old joke, that the guy, and it's a bit off color, but I apologize. A guy goes to a beautiful woman. He says, hey, would you go to bed with me for $1 million? And she stops and said, what? He says, yeah, I got $1 million. He shows her. Got $1 million right here. Would you go to bed with me for $1 million? And she thinks about it, and she's, well, okay, $1 million, yeah. And he says, okay, would you go to bed with me for $1? And she says, wait a minute, what do you think I am anyway? And he comes back and he says, we've already established what you are. We're just negotiating a price. So apply that towards your elected official. Are you willing to sell your country out for $1? No, what do you think I am anyway? Well, gosh, AIPAC already gave you $1 million. You see where I'm going with that? So is your elected official a whore, a prostitute? I think somebody may have the answer here. All right. Welcome to the program. I want to know, is your representative a whore? Is this? Yeah, it is. It's Carolyn. Hey.
You took the words right out of my mouth, sir.
Well, I did. I washed my hands, so that you should be okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. What you got?
I'm so sorry. No, well, okay. So a couple things.
Okay.
I haven't been able to catch up because one of the things lately is that everything, everywhere, is happening all at once.
Yeah.
So talking about getting blindsided, there's that. And so, yes, I would have to agree. So my concern is that I would say this is about it. Because, what is the name for when a particular country might have, what's it called, cannibal thing, where it's like, if we don't have control, if we don't get to do what we want, then we'll destroy everybody else. And last time I checked, and you're the one that recorded it for me, or let me hear it, was multiple times we've heard Bibi saying, and the U.S. and Mar-a-Lago. He's already threatened us.
Yeah, he has.
Okay, so I'm just gonna let you be, but I'm like, on this one, I'm like, holy cow. And the other one, too, I don't know if you've heard yet, but I'm gonna look into it, so I'm gonna keep track of it, is that 200 and something elite people, including apparently Ted Cruz, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, had a secret meeting that apparently somebody hacked into. So we'll look at that, too.
Okay.
Like, what's that about? Like, does Trump even know that Ted Cruz, which is totally wrong? And so it's almost like the cat is out of the bag, and they are grabbing. It's like a freaking feast of who's going to come out on top, and they're basically just going to destroy each other, all of it. So I'm listening. I'm just letting you know that I am here, and I'm like going, yeah, what happened in Idaho? Let's go on. Okay, I'll let you be.
No, I'm glad.
Right here. And
I'm glad that you called in. Do you think that this move in Idaho? Do you think this is going to be the first domino to start falling all over the country? Because I would love to see every state, GOP and DNC, whatever. I would love to see them all say, "Hey, I'm going to crank up this middle finger to Israel." I think people have had it.
Listen up. Oh, yeah. Well, listen, here's the thing, is that, and this is what's so funny, and you're going to love this one. Remember how we always say, well, you're going to hell in a handbasket, and next it's going to be their daughter until they realize what the hell's going on, right? It's going to be their daughter or their wife or their house or whatever, their city. I'll go, what's happening? Oh, that's right. You were watching the freaking game. You were watching, they won, though. They won. Okay, well, guess who's winning while the Knicks are winning? They are winning right under your noses, right in front of you. You'd have to be deaf, dumb, and blind, seriously.
Or stupid.
So, let me, there's that. Ignorant. And so my roommate, swear to God, he gets so passionate, he's yelling, he's swearing about this stupid game, okay? So in the meantime, like the Romans, right? Ooh, oh wow, that guy just So what he does, and this is my point, he'll yell super loud, like yes. And so I'm in my room because I'm laid up with a leg injury, and so I'm going. So when I heard Idaho that we have any win whatsoever,
yeah,
because we've already been overrun, we have to take it back. And so I yelled like a football, like he does. I was like, yes, like right on, And so, yeah. It's I'm going to let you go on because I can't keep up. I'm with you on that. When I hear you go, oh my God, where do I start? I totally get it. I'm like, okay, I literally pray to which one God wants me to hear first, or like which one He wants me to hear, literally. And so God's with us, but boy, howdy. So I'm going to let you finish your show, but I want you to know that I'm right here. I am absolutely like, let's see. Maybe. I mean, let's see.
Well,
but it's scary because they have nukes. That particular country has nukes.
Well,
probably pointed at us.
You brought it up.
What happened with the NDAA thing? Did anybody stop that? Even though the Pentagon warned America? Oh, that's right. They didn't warn America because it's not on the stupid news that everybody watches.
Well, it went
that's
through
right.
there.
They don't even watch that because they're watching the game.
It went through so damn quickly. I mean, what's his name? I got a letter over here.
Tom, whoever. Tom, somebody.
Congressman Stutzman.
Yeah, Stutzman.
Yeah, he was over there in Israel at the end of May. As a matter of fact, there was a photograph that was taken May 27th. Okay, he left Israel. He shot back here and immediately inserted those lines, Section 224.
Sneaky little, they're sneaking it through like a snake.
Yeah,
they're sneaking it in. What the hell? I mean, this is under Trump's nose.
Well, that's just it. You know, well, it's not just Trump, because, I mean, I'm not trying to cut him some slack, but he can't know everything that every congressman is doing.
No, I cut him slack, too. However, with the Pentagon, there's somebody in the Pentagon made a warning. And then you got the guy that left, I guess, the military because he wanted to push the Epstein files. I do respect that it might have to be strategic to not release the Epstein files because maybe he's trying to find positioning before all hell completely breaks loose. I totally get that part.
Well, it's leverage. It's leverage. They said that Trump could use that as leverage against his opponents, but then again, his opponents can use leverage against him because obviously, yeah, he is mentioned over and over again in these files, and we still don't know. I mean, they only released 5%?
No, listen,
something like
I know.
that.
So no, but listen, what's worse? I mean, the more perspective I'm getting, like from Eagle Eye, you help me with that right away out of the gate when I started listening to you. I'm like, oh wait, that perspective. Oh wait, like from further away, looking at it. Okay, and so I already know the agenda. I know the end game. I know the end goal. Once you realize the end goal, everything else is not a freaking coincidence. Okay, it all makes sense. Oh, I wonder why they're poisoning us. I wonder why they shot us. Okay, it's called I don't know. Genocide and crimes against humanity, et cetera, et cetera. These guys are still running around planning more and how they're going to execute more. That's A1, period. Secondly, what about, you think for a minute, if Trump doesn't do their bidding, how do you know that they're not letting him stay alive? You think they're going to make a pot shot at that
That's just it. That's why I'm saying those three magic words,
I'm sorry.
That's I've been saying that for quite some time, bribery, coercion, and blackmail. So I mean, and Trump's not immune to that either.
I know, but if he stands up and gets these guys at all, so his back is up against the wall, literally, because he wants to stay in position with us, and yet he wants to stay alive. And if we don't look, as far as I'm concerned, all hell is going to break loose. I don't think. You correct me if you have hope. I try to hear hope, but between AI and all this, everything, we are a friendship from all angles, and they have the power. We have the power.
Well, you brought it up. You brought it up in the beginning when you first called in. You were bringing up what was called the Samson option. If they can't have their way, they got a plan for blowing up the entire world. That's the way they play it. Okay,
that's it. Okay, so you've got my. Absolute, I agree. Everything, there's no question about it. It's okay. I'm going to let you go on with how you want to report.
Well, I got a couple other things. Couple of things I want to get to. Ben Gvir.
Okay, so I'm going to let you go.
Okay, all right. Well,
I'm here.
Thank you for calling in, sweetie.
All right, honey. Thank you.
Spread the word.
Okay, go get him, Tiger.
All right, girl. We'll see you later.
All right, bye, honey.
Bye.
Okay.
All right. I got a couple other things, but first, I got to take a break. Get More Tank will save you money every month on gas. Get More Tank is a tablet with active ingredients that adds big mileage to every tank. Made in America, the Get More Tank formula is used by trucking companies and heavy industry. Now the Get More Tank formula is available to you. Get More Tank works in any gas or diesel engine, cleans your engine, lowers emissions, and you'll feel improved engine performance every time you step on the gas. Get More Tank works for cars, trucks, boats, motorcycles, four-wheelers, mowers, and blowers. Hey, if you got an engine, then Get More Tank. Contractors, electricians, plumbers, painters, and lawn service companies, Get More Tank will save you money and extend the life of your engines. If you're an owner-operator running your big rig around the town or across the country, Get More Tank will save you money too. If you're a farmer, all of your equipment can use Get More Tank. A 5-pack on sale at GetMoreTank.com for just $22.22 plus shipping. Use the promo code REDPILL101 and get 10% off. Save your money, save your engine, save the earth at GetMoreTank.com. Get More Tank is EPA registered, doesn't void warranties, results vary. And I'm telling you, folks, Get More Tank works. It works. It's a good product. I wouldn't be hawking it if it wasn't. This stuff really will improve the performance of your vehicle. Whether it's gas or diesel, it doesn't matter. It's a fuel catalyst that makes your engine run more efficiently, it runs cleaner, and you get more mileage. So you get more bang for your buck. And I don't have to tell you what's going on with fuel. Fuel's come down a little bit. Yeah, and it didn't get down to where it was 2 years ago. You know how it is, one step forward, 2 steps back, But anyway, the bottom line here is it doesn't make sense for you not to be at least trying Get More Tank. $20 gets you 5 tablets with the discount, and those each tablet is for a tank of gas. Now, on your first application, first time you use it, you put 2 tablets in for a tank. After that, it's 1 tablet per tank of gas. And after you've run a tank or 2, you'll immediately start to notice a difference in the performance. You've got more power. When you hit the accelerator, your car goes. And it runs cleaner and more efficiently. But like I keep telling you, you're going to get better mileage. And depending upon your make, model, and year of vehicle and your driving habits, of course, you could see up to 20% improvement in your mileage. Now, you do the math, 20%, 5 tablets, 1 tablet per tank. That means the 5th tank would be free. It doesn't make sense not to use it. So get in touch with us. Go to the website, TheWTFReports.com. Click on the sponsors button and get more tank. All right, it's about 43 minutes past the hour, and everybody's is wondering what the heck is going to happen with this Israeli control over our government. And, of course, that has a lot to do with the war with Iran. We all know that. And Israel is desperate right now to maintain control of the United States and the hearts and minds of Americans. And I got to tell you, folks, I don't know how they're going to do that because everybody is seeing Israel for what they are. And, God help you if you criticize Israel, you will be attacked. Everybody, knows that. They desperately do not want you to separate Zionism from Judaism. They want them linked. So if you criticize Zionism, they want to call you an anti-Semite, but that's not the way it works. And again, folks, it's deeds, it's not words. Listen to the words of Ben Gvir, all right? And let me see, I'll have to turn the volume down because it's in his native tongue. But I will read to you what it says. It says, the state of Israel, I'm sorry, let me start over again. It says, oh, wait a second. Yeah. The state of Israel must not accept a ceasefire between the United States and Iran. We must continue to demolish the houses in southern Lebanon. We must continue to push back the residents of southern Lebanon. Are you serious? That's what he's saying. I mean, he's openly saying that it's not a war against Hamas. They are going against the citizens. They want southern Lebanon, and they're going to continue to bomb the snake snot out of them, and it makes sure that they just cannot return. Oh, and by the way, I think I reported this last week. What they're doing now is they're spraying high concentrate glyphosate on the land. Okay? And let me see. There was also, let me see. I want to see if I can read this here. Oh, it's too small. Okay. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, listen to this. This is a statement from Ben Gvir. He said, for every tear, as a matter of fact, I'm going to let somebody else read it here because I can't read it out here.
1,000 Lebanese mothers must weep.
Okay.
All of Lebanon must burn.
Well, let's start it over again.
They're not
okay?
hiding it. Still not convinced? Read this with me.
Here it is.
Every tear of an Israeli mother, 1,000 Lebanese mothers must weep. All of Lebanon must burn. With all due respect to the Americans, Israel must make it clear to the entire world that the blood of our sons and the security of our citizens are not forfeit. All of Lebanon must burn. Our supreme duty is to protect the citizens of Israel and the soldiers of the IDF, and this commitment takes precedence over every other consideration. I told Prime Minister, even in our private meetings, for every tear of an Israeli mother, 1,000 Lebanese mothers must weep. Enough with the ping pong. In the Middle East, you don't win with measured responses and restraint. You need to go berserk, to obliterate, to crush the terror.
So let's...
Okay, so those are the words of Ben Gvir. And I have to ask you, what if you turn the tables? What if those were the words of a German addressing a Jew? Oh, that's different, isn't it? But you see, they can do that. They're saying the quiet part out loud. And this is exactly why so many Americans are saying, wait a second, that's not right. Put the shoe on the other foot. So we're waiting for somebody to actually do something instead of just talking about it. You know, and I said, less than a minute or two ago, it's deeds, not words. We all know politicians, they say whatever it is that you want to hear during the election cycle, and then once they get in, they don't do what they said they were going to do. Or they do the exact opposite of what they said they were going to do. And there's a young woman, let me see, her name is Charisse, and she spelled it out real clearly, okay? It's deeds and it's not words. Listen to this.
So this video is going to be for Trump supporters, more specifically the ones who are starting to feel disappointed.
Yeah.
And are convincing themselves maybe to hang on a little longer with midterms approaching. Pay very close attention to what politicians say and compare it to what they actually do.
Yep.
Recently, Trump and J.D. Vance have made public comments criticizing Israel and talking about pursuing peace with Iran. None of this is a genuine shift in policy. It is political theater designed to reassure you because they know that they have an increasingly dissatisfied America First base. Politicians don't suddenly discover principles 6 months before an election. They discover polling data. They discover that their voting bloc is starting to get restless and they have to say whatever they need to say to keep that bloc from walking away. And something that I've noticed about Trump is that he's exceptionally good at letting his base down and then giving people just enough bullshit to keep them invested. He throws out one sentence that sounds like what his supporters might want to hear, and then people focus on that one sentence while ignoring thousands of pages of actions that came before it. Don't ask what Trump said last week. Who cares? Ask how many weapons were sent. Ask how much aid was approved. Ask whether military cooperation was expanded or contracted. Ask whether policy changed or the messaging changed. While the media wants you focused on a few carefully selected headlines about Trump and J.D. Vance suddenly deciding to sound critical of Israel, take a step back and look at the bigger picture. This is not just a Palestinian story. It's Palestine, it's Lebanon, it's Iran, it's Syria, it's Yemen. It's a region-wide conflict that has expanded far beyond the borders of one territory, and American politicians from both parties continue to support the machinery that makes it possible. Republicans will tell you it's the Democrats. Democrats will tell you it's the Republicans. And then both parties turn around and support many of the same foreign policy priorities. Politicians have been campaigning one way and governing another for decades. That is why I'm less interested in speeches than I am in policy. So forgive me that I haven't been swayed by a few election season sound bites. If Trump is truly changing course back to America First and distancing from Israel, then where are the sanctions? Where's the end to military aid? Where's the end to the weapons transfers? Where's the accountability? Because until the actions match the rhetoric that you're spewing on the news for midterm election votes? Political theater. That's all it is. You're going to see more of this messaging that's designed to make you think that there's distance between the United States and Israel. But this is all while deeper military, deeper intelligence, deeper institutional relationships are continuing behind the scenes. If you are America first, be America first consistently. If you're against endless foreign entanglements, be against them regardless of which party is in power. If you are against sending billions of dollars overseas instead of giving it to our own country, be against it regardless of who signs the check. What would it take for you to actually admit that you've been misled? How many broken promises? How many contradictions? How many times does the Trump administration have to tell you one thing and do another before you stop believing the words coming out of their mouth and start looking at their actions?
Okay, I'm going to pause this right now because this is why I was asking everybody out there listening, contact your congressional representative, contact your senator, and tell them that you see what's going on, and you can say whatever you want to say, but it's deeds and it's not words. We are sick to death of having billions and billions and billions of dollars being sent overseas, yes, to Israel, but all these other countries as well. If you're going to be America first, it's deeds, not words. Stop sending money overseas. Stop it. Stop it right now. If you don't stop it, then you're full of crap. If you say that you're America first and yet you're still behind this, well, why is it that you keep on doing what you say you don't want to do? Could it be
bribery, coercion, blackmail?
Yeah, those three magic words. Don't forget them. But the bottom line here is we have to contact every single... I've contacted mine. Have you contacted yours? Contact your congressional representative and your senator and say, this has got to stop. You know, we're at the point of damn near desperation. A lot of Americans are desperate. They can't make enough money to pay their bills. People are living out of their cars. People are homeless. Yeah, and we keep sending money overseas. This has got to stop. And you know what? The people who are guilty need to be brought to justice. We need accountability. We need it really badly. And how many people have been posting, we've been hear about these Epstein files for how long? How long, no? And we have yet to see one person indicted aside from Ghislaine Maxwell. And she trafficked the children to nobody. Right. We need to find out who the perpetrators are, bring them into the light. And by the way, I found an interesting factoid. We hear about the coming apocalypse. And we think of the word apocalypse meaning a total, economic and societal collapse in a Mad Max scenario, or the end of the world, the Battle of Armageddon. Well, do you know something? I didn't know this. But you look up the origin of the word apocalypse before it got redefined into meaning absolute mayhem. But the original definition of apocalypse goes way back, and what it means is a revelation, an unveiling. Okay, it means a shift. Okay, it means being exposed to the truth, a revelation, like I said, an unveiling, a revealing. That's what the original meaning of apocalypse is. So if you apply that towards the battle of the apocalypse, well, this now makes sense because much is being revealed now. More and more people are aware of the deep state. More and more people are aware of the strings being pulled by very powerful individuals, very powerful families that have been around for generations and generations. We're not just talking about a regime or a government or anything like that. We're not just talking about an international body. We're talking about a group of individuals who truly believe that this planet, this earth, belongs to them. And it is they who must rule over the entire world. They believe this. And I've said it many times, it doesn't make any difference what I believe. It doesn't make any difference what you believe. What matters is what they believe. And if they have all the power, and if they're pulling all the strings of all, not just our representatives and senators in this country, but people who are in charge of governments around the world, this could be the beginning of the great reveal, the revelation, the unveiling, the apocalypse. You see what I'm saying here? But anyway, I'm going to let this young lady, Sharice Lee, finish out her statement. And then I think I got one more I can squeeze in. I don't know. Running out of time here already.
And before anyone says, well, then why are you talking to Trump supporters anyway? If I wanted to exclusively talk to people who agreed with me, there would be no point in me making political content. Political beliefs don't just change because someone like Dean Withers screams at you in a political debate on live stream. They change because people start noticing contradictions that they were previously ignoring. If your goal is to actually change people's opinions and their minds, then you have to eventually be willing to talk to people who disagree with you.
True that.
If your goal is just to, Dean Withers your way through politics and feel morally superior, then by all means, keep calling everyone you disagree with stupid. I've never found that strategy particularly effective. Stay skeptical. Verify claims independently. Do not let headlines replace analysis. Do not fall for what they say. Look at what they have done.
Right.
Don't get distracted by a sentence. Look at the chapter. Better yet, look at the entire book. If a politician says something you agree with, don't reward them for saying it. Reward them for doing it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah? Israel wouldn't exist without the United States? Show us. That's what he said. Show us.
Yep, show us. She's right. She's right. Talk is cheap, Talk is cheap. It's deeds, not words. I want to see how this country can actually turn things around. And it has to happen. I mean, I've seen several polls. Over 60% of the American people no longer support Israel like they used to. And now it's up to you, dear listener, to, like I said, contact your representatives, your senators. And also, if you're a churchgoer, approach the leader of your church and say, look, I don't support Israel anymore. Where do you stand with this? And don't give me this Christian Zionism crap either. Zionism is political dogma. A belief system is not political. Although some of them have become that way, that's for damn sure. But the bottom line here is if you were ever going to roll up your sleeves and get involved, now is the time to do it. Because they know. This is why, like I said, Bibi Netanyahu is in a position of desperation right now. He knows he's lost the support of a huge block of Americans, and this is why they want to do everything they can to take over social media, and they can cajole or bribe or blackmail representatives to put these inserts into these and policy into these bills. And let me see, bill. The NDAA, yeah. So it's got to stop, but it's not going to stop if everybody's waiting for somebody else to do it. And I know it's uncomfortable. Remember when you were in high school and they were having a high school band play and there was a dance going on? So the band would start, and all the girls were on one side of the gymnasium and the boys were on the other side. Nobody wanted to be the first one on the dance floor. But once somebody mustered the courage to get out there and start dancing around, then everybody got on. So I'm asking you, dear listener, be the first one on the dance floor. Set the pace for everybody else. I'm sorry, Carolyn. I got distracted by the phone call. Cynthia, shame on you. Look at the clock. We're flat out of time here. Anyway, I appreciate your listenership, not just you, Carolyn, but all you other folks out there listening. And if you appreciate this broadcast and you're listening on BitChute or Rumble or YouTube or Facebook, whatever, remember to click like, share, subscribe, and spread the word by word of mouth. And you can also support the broadcast by picking up a Wave Watch or some Get More Tank or some merch. or you could make a donation on the GoFundMe, because I'm going to be upgrading this show very shortly. Oh, wait till you hear. All right, that said, we're out of time. So, thank you for your listenership. God bless you all. Stay safe and stay free. And God willing, I will see you tomorrow.
Anymore.